Okay, well, I think it represents opportunities for competition for both sides. And I feel how I feel about it. It definitely needs to have a common sense approach to where it is equal on both sides, and it's not gonna one side is not gonna hurt the other side. Common sense. You can't eliminate one team for one person on either side of the fence.
Title IX represents equality in athletics. I think it was a framework that set in place the ability for girls to have equitability in playing high school sports. And I believe it's beneficial. How do I feel about the issue of gender equality? Oh, absolutely. I think equality is important across the board, not just in athletics, but in life. But I think it was not just required, but it was the right thing to do for women in athletics or young ladies at the high school level.
I only can relate to the 30 years ago. I might look like 60 years ago, but from what I understand, 60 years ago it was very limited opportunities. 30 years ago was greater opportunities. I was teaching here 30 years ago, and there were times where the girls, we were separate PE departments. That was a girls' gym and a boys' gym, and the girls played basketball in that gym, and the boys played basketball at this gym, and then so now things are more equitable, and facility use is the same. Obviously, you can't use boys and girls; you have to have separate locker rooms, but the facilities are shared for track. The football field is also a soccer field for the girls. So the opportunities now have been increased from 30 years ago, and I'm sure that they've drastically increased from 60 years ago.
Okay, so 30 years ago I can answer because I was in high school 30 years ago.
Like 103?
And I just look like it. So 30 years ago, it was girls were, there were athletic teams for girls and guys at my high school. And I believe that more attention was paid to the male teams than female teams 30 years ago. And so I would extrapolate that. It's 60 years ago it was more lopsided, because I don't even know 60 years ago if there were actually girl athletics in high school. So I'm not sure if I can answer that.
Again, it's a common sense approach. We fund every team, whether it's male or female, to the needs for them to compete.
And that's for the field and court maintenance and athletic equipment?
Yep. Like I said, the facilities are all now facilities for everyone.
Right.
So any money that goes into the facilities benefits both genders. And again, a common sense approach. One team might not need as much money to get the needed supplies to compete, whereas another team might need more. Like I used that volleyball example with, you guys don't need helmets, and they do.
Right.
So it's a common sense approach. They can't play football without helmets, but you can play volleyball without helmets. So there's a big expense on the helmets.
Right.
But it's common sense. You guys have everything you need. They have everything they need.
How do we balance funding? It's even. There's no difference between male and female teams.
Even, Steve.
Yeah.
Okay, the first part of the question, yes, it does, because if we have a lot of fan attendance, we have a lot of money, because it all goes into one pot, general athletics. And the general athletics covers all of our sports, whether it's male or female. And about the crowds, absolutely, it has a difference between one administrator or one officer. If we have a huge crowd, we have more supervision. Less crowd, less supervision.
Right.
No for both. Does fan attendance play a part in how much funding? No. At our school, we don't really generate a lot of funding from our athletic events. Football generates the most, but that football money is spread. It goes into general athletics for our student body fund. I don't have to do it that way, but I choose to do it that way, and to fund all sport athletics equally. Other sites, other schools use that funding to pay for officials. The site pays for officials, so all money, all revenue like that, and funding, all revenue can go toward athletics for males and female teams.
It's going to be hard to improve. Once you're compliant, you're compliant. And so we are compliant, and we're on the level. You can't really go beyond compliant. You can either come to compliance. So we're compliant, so there's really no room to improve our equity, but we can improve our athletic programs for sure.
How can we improve? Well, you can always improve, but in the area of gender equality, I don't want to say I'm blind to that, but I feel like we do equal for all the teams. We make sure that the girls teams and the boys teams have this, uniforms, all the equipment necessary. We don't differentiate between any of the programs. So that's just a.
Well, first of all, to maintain that compliance so that there are the opportunities. Then next, to get the word out of what we have and what each one of those things that we have, whatever sport we're offering, what that can offer to them, both athletically and socially. And then to try and hire coaches that can connect to the kids and get them interested. And then continue to fund the needs of each program.
Okay.
I think the best thing that we could do, we are providing access to everything that you need for girls athletics. But I think it's just promoting what we offer to encourage more girls to participate. I think that's the biggest thing, to getting girls more interested in playing athletics at our feeder schools. And I think that would lead to more participation at the high school. I think we're doing all the right things for our. We're doing all the right things.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
You know it's gonna go south, right?